Your boy did not listen. The internet is boring, so we're kicking up flames just to entertain. Please do me a favor. As soon as you get here, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and also, most importantly, use all of your hype points to hype up this video. Okay, thank you. Appreciate you. Yes, Goodytopia. We still dropping the fuzzy 1995 bombs. It's a gag. How you guys are doing? So, to my audience and the people that know me, you guys know I give it up a certain way. I have developed a reputation for myself, and I think they call it crashing out, okay? So that's like Clubhouse type of energy that I brought and transcended over here. And yesterday when I did the video pretty much exposing and pointing out Nika at Night's hypocrisy and lies, I was on crash out type of time, but I strategically covered that at the end of the video so that anybody watching the video will be able to tell that there's a consistent flow with that type of energy, whether I'm talking about celebrity gossip, politics, sometimes true crime, unless of course I'm going to cover the case specifically. I have that like this crash out manic type of energy, and it's a part of my brand. And then what happens is when I get into it, or YouTubers like Nika at Night Quill decide to use me for clout and content, they weaponize my special sauce that I use for entertainment online to kind of like demonize me. And like Milagro testified in the Megan Thee Stallion trial, there's a difference between who I am in real life versus this crash out manic type of energy that I present online. And people are steadfast on misconstruing that, especially if they get on the docket, right? And so last night I was on that type of time, and now I can calmly address what people are looking at, right? So I barely pay attention to anonymous accounts, information or whatever, but Nika at Night Quill, you got some double agents. The same people who's convincing you to go down to the court this morning and to file frivolous restraining orders are the same people who are sending me information. And I typically ignore a lot. Like, my rule of thumb is I don't take unsolicited advice, unsolicited opinions. I don't even like people sending me videos about people talking about me. And if you do, at least have the time code for me, because I'm not going to look at all of that, right? I think that that's very childish, and I don't necessarily need to get into a beef with content creators in order to perpetuate my brand or whatever. And I oftentimes see, even when I'm trying to collaborate with content creators on YouTube specifically, it does nothing for me. Whether it's a shout out or not, it does nothing for me. The fake narratives need to stop. The defamation needs to stop. And people want to go to court. And I'm telling you, I'm not the person that you want to take to court. You ignite a petition against me, you're going to wish you never had. And then even if you dismiss it with me as a defendant, I'm going to go after you as a plaintiff. I love practicing law, and I would drag you in court, and you would have to go and hire an attorney. If not, at the very least, you're going to learn enough law to get yourself a law degree by the time I'm done with you. So it's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's early morning. Obviously, later on, I don't know exactly what I'm going to talk about, but I wanted to separate and differentiate this whole Nika at Night Quill situation from my actual content. So when I'm on that manic crash out type of energy, people can sit back and enjoy the show, because she's not going to be on the docket and she can't weaponize that against me. So again, I want to make it very, very clear that Nika at Night overly asserted herself in this issue with Armand Wiggins. Number one, I barely even talk to Nika at Night. And when I do, such as the 45-minute phone call that I had with her, it was actually on Instagram. And so I want to make that very clear. I don't have her phone number, never asked her for it, never cared for it. Instagram was fine by me, and I decided to block her and cut that line of communication. I also blocked her on YouTube and so forth, because she, like, at this point in time, people know what type of content I do. People know if they come at me what I'm gonna do, and they try to weaponize that against me. So I want to take this opportunity to be respectful and say, raising my right hand, I, Denot Ricketts, declare under the penalty of perjury that the foregoing said from this moment forward is true, made to the best of my ability, and if called as a witness, I can competently testify as to the things that I say in this video. Okay? Number one, Nika at Night contacted me, I want to say it was Tuesday, the day December 2nd. She just randomly hit me up. Hey, what are you doing? I'm like, okay, hey, how's it going? Because the last time I had talked to her is when Mr. Big Gums put a copyright strike on my channel for playing like 2 seconds of a video where I showed he was dissing me at the Lil Nas X trial and talking crap about me when I completely ignored him. So he put a copyright strike on my video. I reached out to Nick at Night to talk to him and see was that actually him, given the fact that the email on that copyright strike did not match the email he put on the restraining order petition. And given the fact that sometimes copyright trolls try to file copyright and stuff against you just to collect information about you, to see who you're about, to see what channel, who channel. This is not my channel. I'm just a manager of this channel. I want to make that very, very clear. And so Mr. Big Gums, I wasn't sure if it was him or not, because I'm like,
Subaru and our retailers are the largest automotive donors to Make-A-Wish, supporting kids and families.
And not saying that I'm going to do anything or would do anything, but during the Diddy trial, it went viral that, you know, someone actually took someone's life due to copyright troll strikes. And so I was trying to get her to clarify to see if it was him or not, so that I had a better understanding of where we stood online and I could move accordingly if I ever see him in real life again, specifically at the Megan Thee Stallion trial that he followed me to, right? And so we're going to get into that a little bit later in the video, but I want to point out that Nick at Night is messy. Yes, she does content about true crime, public issues, get a lot of clicks and views, but right now the internet is very slow, and a lot of YouTubers such as myself, Mr. Big Gums, Nick at Night, we follow court cases and stuff and we go to them. And so on December the 2nd, Nick at Night hit me up while I was actually in a live stream. I got a message from her on Instagram. I did not expose that she wrote me because I was like, hey, this is my private communication with her. Why would I tell my audience that she wrote me? And I was like, what do you want? I didn't know. Then the next day on December the 3rd, the morning of December the 3rd, pretty much like earlier around this time, because she was driving her daughter to school, we was on the phone and she had let me know that Mr. Big Gums filed a restraining order against me. I did not know any of this until Nick at Night brought it to my attention. And just thinking back on that 45-minute conversation, I asked her, I said, was the temporary restraining order granted? And she said, no, it wasn't. So that means she had already looked at the documents, and or at the very least, she had already talked to Armand about the restraining order and was conveying secondhand information to me because she didn't have it with her. And she said, oh, it's on my computer, or I couldn't get it out of the system and I'll try to get it later. And so when she told me, I went down to the Van Nuys courthouse and pulled it up and sent her pictures of it. And then she asked me for the entire restraining order. So I sent her the document. So that says she did not have the documentation. And for Armand Big Gums to file a restraining order on December the 1st, and then on December the 2nd, she tell me about it and tell me that the temporary restraining order was denied without actually having the paperwork. One could say that she was getting information from Armand, and she reached out to me to try to get my side of the story and cover it, or whatever the case may be. So this is how she inserted herself in the situation. Mind you, she has years worth of rapport with Armand opposed to me, and she adamantly all but admitted that she's biased and going to take Mr. Big Gums' side, despite the fact that the TRO was denied and that she wanted to report on it. So you can't be Gayle King reporting on something while in the same breath admitting that you have a hatred and disdainment for me for issues beyond the scope of after we met up and after we settled those things. You want to bring it up in 2025, and then on top of that, you want to hold me to a flame but don't hold him to the flame because you're a peon for him. And so Nick at Night inserted herself. Everybody know that if you come out the denied, especially if you come out the denied for the first time, then I'm gonna clap back and respond. If you come out the denied when he's on a certain type of time, especially if you're in the docket of his weekend show to where he's roasting, having a lot of fun, the energy is going to be chaotic because that's a part of my brand. How come I'm not crazy and bipolar and I'm funny whenever I'm giving commentary and crashing out about Diddy or about trending topics or Waka Flocka? Nobody never says that until, and of course, one of these YouTubers make the docket and they take it, run with it, and paint this narrative and go along with this narrative that I'm crazy and I'm a stalker, which has to stop. And people are going to go to court for that. Mr. Big Gums, you're going to go to court for that. You're going to be forced to recant it. whether by force or choice, or you're gonna have to come out the pockets something serious. And I promise you that, okay, Mr. Big Gums? And so Nika at Night, being the peon that she is, she did a live stream where she claimed to be unbiased. And I noticed that these big content creators would do live streams where they pretend to be unbiased just to get the opinion of their audience, and whatever the opinion that their audience have is what they're going to go along with, because they are in the business of clicks and views, while I'm in the business of being myself 100% authentically, flaws and all. So I want to calmly address some of the things and some of the issues that I did yesterday, but just with a different temperament, where I'm not in that mood to where I'm just roasting and gagging and trolling and crashing out, because again, that's a part of how I entertain. It doesn't mean I'm mad. It means that I'm entertaining you. Please enjoy the show. Support me. $ to not 007. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and come back to be entertained. Never once have I actually made it my duty to hurt or harm someone. Again, the same crash out and manic energy that they so-called say that I have for them, I have it for celebrity, trending news, gossip. Even sometimes when I'm covering politics, I'm roasting Donald Trump the same way that I would roast a content creator. And I think that needs to be understood and made clear. Okay. And so Jessica Bush said, anything can be tracked. The restraining order will be denied. So I don't know for a fact that she actually filed a restraining order, but I got information that that's her intent, which is why she made the video yesterday saying that my gunshots and my soundboard and me talking about my affiliation with Freemasonry threatened her, and she feels threatened for her life. Well, that's not a credible threat. I don't know your name, I don't know your address, and I have not seen you outside of public spaces and public venues in which you have confirmed and said publicly that I was always a sweetheart to you. So what is this about, right? But anyways, let me go back into some of the things that she said to break everything down and be clear that, those tears that she cried about her cousin and her family has nothing to do with me.
She went to Texas to see her, Jaguar Wright get bailed out or whatever. And she left my cousin. Okay? My cousin, out of frustration of, this was my wife. Like, they were calling each other wives. They had been together for like 10 years. My cousin's like, damn, like, you left me for Jaguar? She's upset about it. Like, they built a family together. My cousin has kids. The girl, she came to my cousin's house. She had a daughter, and they were raising their kids together as a family. Her girl, she left my cousin, left her daughter with my cousin, and went to go be in hotels with Jaguar Wright. My cousin, because this is a woman I've been with for 10 years, she was upset. She went to, I think it was Sean Davy Way, and she was calling out her girl, like, she was heartbroken. She was calling out her girl, and she was like, damn, like, you really gonna leave me for Jaguar Wright? Wooty wooty woo. Jaguar Wright finds out that's my cousin. Mind you, at the time, I had not talked to my cousin in 10 years. Honest to God.
Mind you, she has not talked to her cousin in 10 years. In 10 years, you didn't talk to your cousin before your cousin came online and her personal business became that of content involving a chaotic fool like Jaguar Wright. So you haven't talked to your cousin in 10 years, but now you and your cousin are trauma bonding and bringing your personal business online, and somehow based on what is happening online, now all of a sudden, let me protect my cousin. That's fake. That is absolutely fake. I just want to point that out.
Child, but like I said, that's my cousin at the end of the day. Bitch, I go to war behind her. Even though at the time I was
if you'll go to war behind your cousin and you haven't seen her for 10 years, you're going to go to war behind her online, but you can pick up the phone. What happened to the family reunions? What happened to your aunt? Well, let's not get on that, because I understand that's why you was crying. But what happened to your other family members that are connected to her that could have resolved you guys' issues so that you didn't have to wait 10 years to speak to her? And then suddenly Donat is the reason why you connect with your cousin and you're crying because...
a little upset at her. And child, I'm getting a little emotional. But
so you was already upset at your cousin, and like I said, she wanted to tell the story about me using her name and saying Nika at Night cousin and what Jaguar Wright was doing, because I was the manager of Jaguar Wright. Somehow I should have stopped Jaguar Wright from saying things about her cousin to her and so forth. And mind you, just like Milagro Grahams testified in the Megan Stallion trial, this is why she didn't get hit up for cyber stalking. At no point in time did I know that Nika at Night even knew who I was. If I'm using your name and talking about your cousin and stuff, and I'm like, okay, hey, I'm thinking just like I covered things about celebrities. Can you just imagine a celebrity come across a clip of me roasting them, and then they be mad at it and mad at me for life? I'm like, I don't even want you to know that I do that, because this is entertainment. And I didn't know that Nika at Night was even aware of me, because what these bigger, I guess, upper echelon content creators that value clicks and views in the court of public opinion more than I do, they pretend that people like me don't exist until it's convenient for them to cry tears, or until it's convenient for them to cry victim and to point out the F shit. So I didn't even know that was Nika at Night's cousin until Jaguar Wright said it. And I think Jaguar Wright was going on multiple channels targeting Nika. But Jaguar Wright had the thing where she would go on people's channel and use people's channels to go against other content creators. And we were like, what are you talking about? That's not what we're talking about. She'll talk about Storm Monroe here and there, talk about Officer Dust Mite, Don Wayway, Nika at Night. And that's her way of cyber stalking and using other black YouTubers' platforms to do so. So I guess one day when Jaguar Wright was on my platform, I guess she was saying Nika at Night's real name, and it still didn't even register to me, even though I made videos like, oh yeah, what's up, I'm gonna get her. No, I cut that off. I said what I said and I move on. You understand what I'm saying? So I guess she felt like I should have controlled Jaguar Wright as the manager. I cannot control Jaguar Wright. The manager thing was a gag, and to the extent that I managed Jaguar Wright, I was doing her a favor by teaching her how to monetize and run her own channel, instead of having to run to the Storm Monroe's, the Sean David Ways platforms, and them to use her for clout and make money, and then decide to give her whatever that they felt like she was worth. And this is me, because Jaguar Wright is a black woman, and I recognize her worth and her value, and I did not want anybody to exploit that. I managed her channel and got it monetized, and since then Jaguar Wright has been monetized. Her girlfriend TJ channel monetized. Jaguar Wright learned how to monetize, learned how to make her own money because of me. I never for once tried to exploit her. I feel bad and felt bad because I felt that people were exploiting her, and that she should have a fair shake to make her money online just like any other YouTuber. And because of me, to this day, Jaguar Wright is making her own money and not going out on other people's platforms being exploited. And this is why a lot of people hated me. They felt like I was stopping their bag and slowing down their content. But in the midst of all of that, you know, Naisha, Nika at Night's cousin, felt betrayed because Jaguar Wright stole her girlfriend, and Nika at Night's name was brought into it.
You must be. You must be. These are adorable. It would be very statement.
He's online with some BS, and this affected you. Like, if Nika at Night would have wrote me at that time and said, hey, stop using my name, I don't like this, I got my own family issue, I'd have been like, you know what, I understand. Okay, I would have quite naturally protected her, but because she did not address me on that, I didn't even know how significant or how it impacted her. Today or yesterday, I just learned you didn't talk to your cousin for 10 years. I think if you want to be this is my take, because they value the court of public opinion. I value realness. Sometimes you guys are going to hate me. Sometimes you're going to love me. Sometimes I'm going to be angry. Sometimes I'm going to cry. Sometimes I'm going to do, because that's what real humans do. And my audience know that I'm authentic. And so when Nika at Night is crying and don't unpack why she did not talk to her cousin in the past 10 years, but want to cry, and somehow everybody is led to believe that your tears are about me, when in reality you have family trauma that needs to be unpacked. And because you're a star and already established and claim to be real, maybe you need to make a separate video expressing to them why you did not speak to your cousin for 10 years instead of blaming it on me. And again, I think she was offended because her cousin went on to Sean David Way or King Paint, somebody's platform, or even her own platform, because she was grifting and building out the back of Jag at that time, and said that, I don't know, she said something like, I don't know why Donat is managing Jag, when she said he has A's. Shit, that must be true, yada yada yada. And I'm listening to this and I'm like, this lady don't know me. This lady is talking about me. She don't know what she's getting herself into. And very similar to what I do today, like, if you're in the chat attacking me, you're going to get the smoke back. If you're on the panel attacking me, you're going to get the smoke back. if you're on somebody else's platform or even your platform attacking me, you're gonna get the smoke back. Okay, like the fish-eyed food. I might let you do 100 videos, but you know what's coming for you for playing with me, for lying on me, and putting out misinformation about me, right? And so when Nika Knight cousin said that, I was furious because, like, who are you? Like, who are you to put that on me? And then later on, her cousin went live and said that her mother, which is Nika Knight's auntie, basically forced her to take. Basically, Nika Knight's cousin Naisha had a lot of trauma, and she expressed it online. Again, I wouldn't be talking about this unless her cousin brought this out. Her cousin said that her grandmother raised her, and her mother was abusive to her. And then the day that her mother, I guess, claimed her as a child is the day that she found out that her mother had HIV/AIDS and that she would become a caretaker. And since then, she's been somewhat of a caretaker. And I think a lot of those tears with Nika Knight stem from the issue with Naisha, who used to fight for her, and the regrets in her auntie's death and stuff. Pain is relative. So I feel like it's very much a misappropriation for you to cry tears about your family issues and why you didn't talk to your cousin for 10 years and mislead the public to believe that you're crying solely because your cousin said that I had HIV/AIDS, and I decided to clap back and say, no, your mama died with HIV/AIDS. And as a matter of fact, statistically speaking, Black women is the highest demographic that is coming up with new cases of HIV/AIDS. And I feel like for women to be worried about my sexuality, Black women specifically, go and get tested and worry about who you're sleeping with. At least I'm honest and upfront. I'm bisexual. Any girl that I deal with, before I even get involved with sexual activities with anybody, I ask for my charts. I show mine. I actually take initiative. These are my stats. What are your stats? It doesn't matter. I honestly, if anybody got anything, and this is just my own preference, I know people living with HIV and so forth can go along and become undetected and have unprotected sex, or people living with it with partners that are clean can wear condoms. I don't want to deal with nobody who have health deficiencies with or without protection. So this is why I'm adamant about protecting my health status. So it was baffling to me for Nika Knight's cousin to basically insinuate and poke fun of Jaguar Wright's previous lie that she recanted on my platform before I became a manager, and then come out later with real tears and say that her mother died of HIV/AIDS. So I think Nika Knight, as a big influencer that you are, how are you going to influence somebody when you talk about everybody's business and everything in the public domain, but you don't want to unpack your own trauma? And I don't mind doing any of that, but somehow I get demonized for being a real human being. So I feel like Nika Knight needs to do another video and clarify that you had a reasonable opportunity to reach out to me and let me know that this was affecting you prior to seeing you in person, but you failed to do that. So I'm not responsible for what you was going through. And then on top of that, your cousin did this. So you need to let your audience know, because that's a very different story than you saying that I'm using your name, attacking your family, your cousin, and crying, and not letting people know the entire facts. So, okay. That, and then when I first met her at the Tory Lanez trial, she had some dude that looked like Sugar Bear with her. So if you was about all of this smoke and this gangster rah-rah talk that you do, I'm not saying to insinuate or incite violence and be violent towards anybody in protection of Nika Knight, because again, I go to these court cases to cover the cases and get the information and report it on here, okay? If your problem is that I put your name in the title, people use my name every single day. There's nothing I can do about it. It just happens. So you can't be emotionally struck and feel like, oh, Donata's using my name, please don't use my name. It comes with the turf and the territory. I've had to grow accustomed to it and used to it, and so do you, being that you've been here for much, much longer. And I thank content creators like Mr. Big Guns and Nika Knight, because they've been through the ringer and they've been through certain things. I remind them of all the traumatic experience that they've had online that has nothing to do with me or in real life. You understand what I'm saying? And so they go and scapegoat me and demonize me as if I'm doing something that they haven't already done or participating in with somebody else that they deem to be sufficient and relevant opposed to me. I have not done or said anything to Mr. Big Gum that he has done and said to Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Tasha K, and so forth. I have not done and said anything to Nicki at Night Quill that she has not done and said to Lovely T, Tasha K, T.S. Madison. I don't know those stories. Clearly, I was not here at the time, but you cannot have these traumatic experiences and a little thing that I do correlate those experiences to me and make me take the butt end of your pain and your whole traumatic journey. So I felt like that was very manipulative for her to cry. And again, when I seen her in person, she had a man there that could have stepped and said, hey, Nicki Knight don't rock with you. Okay, cool. Fuck her too. Bye. You know, my whole thing is keep the same energy online that you have in person. That's my thing. Don't be cool with me in person and want this public perception to be some BS online. Don't be cool with me online and then shade me in person. It's a double-edged sword. Keep the same energy and the same rhetoric. And if I seen you and you cried to me, and now I know why you cried, because your cousin, you hadn't seen your cousin in 10 years and you miss her and all this other stuff. I had empathy for you. And that's where I was like, okay, Nicki at Night, I get you. I understand. Another lie she told that when she first met me that I said I was going to use these content creators and clout chase off of them and build my platform. I mean, that is a part of the strategy that even she partook in with the T.S. Madison and the Tasha K and the Lovely T. She would not be in a position and have the audience and attraction she does had she not gotten into those beefs. Again, yes, she covered news, but it's not unheard of for her to be messy and for her to insert herself in something that has nothing to do with her and then go and play the victim, right? And that's what she's done to me. She's used this same come and play. Why? Because the internet is boring and she's kicking up flames to entertain. And instead of her and Mr. Big Gums articulating, hey, this is just for entertainment, don't take none of this serious, they're misleading the public to believe that there's a real issue when there's not a real issue. You understand what I'm saying? And it's all a gatekeeping tactic. That's the only thing. Somebody in my Discord said, Denard, these content creators are afraid to collaborate with you because if you do, you would take over. Even a video that I did with Nicki at Night, and that was 2 days ago, Gerald Jackson got up and said, I keep telling Denard he's smart and he can be one of the biggest YouTubers. And before he could finish his statement, Nicki at Night dropped him from the panel. And I have the text messages. I was like, well, what happened to you? And he was like, oh, she dropped me. And like, to me, and based on my opinion, it looked like he had like an attitude. Let me go back to the text message because he's blocked too, by the way. Now I'll get to that later. I'll get to that. But anyways, it was something like, he was telling me about somebody blocked me in the chat. And mind you, yesterday she put a video on people not be able to comment in it unless you was subscribed to her channel for 10 days. I've been subscribed to Nicki at Night channels for a long time. And I had to address her about one of her moderators blocking me out of the chat. And blocking me out of the chat while the Fish-Eye Fool and other people are attacking me is creating a hive mentality and creating a one-sided narrative where I couldn't defend myself. And so she put it on 10 days only, and then one of her moderators blocked me out of the chat. So I was not able to partake or participate in any of it. And plus I was at the gym listening to these lies. So yeah, Gerald said she took me down. I don't know if it was because of the music, but I feel like it was not a coincidence for Gerald to be on Nicki at Night's channel telling the entire audience and her that he feels like if Denard could focus, or if people wasn't attacking Denard and he wasn't responding to it, that he could be one of the biggest YouTubers. I did see on her face a little jealousy and envious. And so there's that facet of it. There's two things can be true at one time. And I do believe a lot of these YouTubers spin narratives and paint me in a false light to gatekeep their audience from supporting me. Quite naturally, okay? I don't need a shout out. I don't need any of that. What I need for you guys to do is to leave me alone and stop building a false pretense about who I am and playing these behind the scenes games. Because again, Nicki at Night, if she was so interested in this story and the issue with me and Armand, I text her, I said, can you reach out to him? And that was my way of utilizing
cut through the clutter and stand out on the #1 platform people use to make informed purchase decisions.
In some type of frivolous online beef. You understand? And this is like a month before the Megan Thee Stallion trial, before I seen him again in real life. But now she wants to insert herself, now that it's salacious and now that it's a court issue, and now she allegedly wants to file her own restraining order. So she inserted herself in the mess, lied on me about the nature of her cousin, and then lied talking about I said that I was going to use content creators to clout chase and build my platform. You did the same thing. And more so, even if I said that, which is a lie, if I said that to you directly at the Tory Lanez trial, then why would you tell me to hang out with your friend Choice TV, who's a bigger content creator than you? And then we went to the Perch Lounge and stuff. If you was real, wouldn't you more so be interested in protecting him? And Choice made it very clear to me. I hung out at the Perch Lounge with Choice TV. I also later on went to the movies with Choice TV and Culver Century City. And I was like, hey, are you interested in collaborating? Because, you know, he himself, he built his channel off of targeting Salone hooks, targeting the Ace family, targeting different people, right? And so he himself has been involved in the mess, and because now he's built the audience and years has gone by, somehow he himself is in the upper echelon, and Denat is problematic if I would somehow engage in the same tactics that they used to build their channels, right? So it's the hypocrisy for me. So for you to lie and say that I told you that I was pretty much gonna clout chase off everybody, that doesn't make any sense, because you are the one who pushed for me and Choice to be friends in real life. And when Choice made it clear that he was not interested in collaborating, I decided that that's not a friendship that I cared about. Period. Okay, if we're online, let's collaborate, let's do this. Me hanging out with you in real life, but online it looks like I don't rock with you, or you don't rock with me, or you think that I'm a crazy stalker, but in real life we're hanging out and being cool, and you know that I'm a sweetheart and that I'm a giving, caring person, and want the public perception on the internet to be something completely different. I have a problem with that. So I made the decision to remove myself from Choice, and I think I expressed that, but it was not in a beef way. Choice is cool in real life. I have nothing negative to say about him. You don't want to collaborate. I know you from online. Me and you do the same thing. I'm interested in growing and building my platform, and you don't want to do that, so man, you can't even speak no more. And it wasn't that I was trying to use you, it's just I was trying to build a solid rapport, and I'm not going to play a game with nobody to fall into their high mentality or to think that they are somehow better than me, or I'm not finna do any of that. So even though Choice has more subscribers than Armand Wiggins and Nick at Night put together. So if I was a clout chaser and trying to play this game, don't you think that I would have continued to play on Choice and continue to, or even clout chase? I made 10, 20 videos about him. It wasn't called for, because at the very least, publicly, he's not saying any derogatory things about me to his audience. So he can feel like I'm an asshole or a bad person privately, but he's not strategically going out saying anything to try to make the court of public opinion make me look like something that I'm not, or just because you're mad at me and you're jealous or intimidated and you don't want to be me to be in your position. So because he didn't go out and build a false narrative about me or false pretense, it's fair game. So if his people suddenly trickle over and support me, they don't need to know that we hung out. They don't need to know anything. All they need to know is that they believe in me, they believe in him, and you know, maybe they'll send me $1 or $2, or at the very least, yo, 2 cents a matter while you watch the motherfucking commercials. You know, matter of fact, let me make sure them commercials is on, by the way. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Replay Gang, if you haven't already liked the video, please do so right now. And also, please use your hype points, as it is greatly appreciated. Use all of them, okay? Because I'm the real one, okay? I feel like Nick at Night, what she did was she created a video. She saw what the chat was saying, and she went along with the chat, because it's all about a click and a view, and it's all about the public perception of things rather than actually genuinely connecting to another human being. They will sell you out for clout, clicks, and views. And people is like, well, did not want a friend, and this is a business. So a part of your business is paying attention to what people are saying in the chat and going along with that. Mind you, even when Nick at Night came over here after that video, which I felt slighted, I told my people, don't attack her. I put somebody in time, put 3-4 people in timeout for attacking her in the chat while it's open season on me in my name. And I think to settle this, a part of the strategy and solution, Neek, is just hide my name from your channel, just like your name is hidden from my channel. And I do it so disrespectfully. You can hide somebody's name from your channel by going into the YouTube studio, and if somebody type it, the comment won't appear. Or you can use Night Bully like I do. If anybody type Neek in the chat, Night Bully's got a message for you, because she's not conducive to my journey or anything. Pretty Cat said, do your YouTube solo, do not be on your own. You don't need nobody. And that's what I realized. I don't need nobody. I'm not even going to be nice to people. I'm not obligated to be nice to you. I'm not obligated to speak to you. I'm not obligated to open the door for you. I'm not even going to be nice to you. I'm just going to act like they're Casper. They don't exist to me because they have a job to do. I have a job to do. And at the very least, at the end of the day, what it seems like is the conclusion is that they want to gatekeep their audience. They want their audience, like, if you're not gatekeeping your audience, why is it important for you to make your audience believe that I'm such a bad person? Despite the countless times of Neek, oh, Denat, when he's nice and sweet, he's nice and sweet. And I genuinely mean that. You will never see that Denat again, ever. And when you see me, and because you've experienced that, it's going to be like a hole. I understand that I have a powerful energy. I understand that. I understand that I vibrate higher than the average person. And I understand that I have a chaotic energy just as well as a great positive energy that are equal to each other. So if I'm nice and genuine and make you feel special, if you're an asshole and I don't like you, without even speaking to you, looking at you, you're going to feel the heat radiating off of my body, and that does not call for or grounds for you to say that I'm somehow threatening you. I'm protecting myself. I like that you feel like, and that you know that I don't fuck with you, and that you feel that I don't vibe with you. You don't have telepathy to know what's going on in my head. So you can't file a restraining order and say, I fear for my life. I fear he's gonna crash out and ultimately unalive me. I crash out online, okay? It's a part of my brand. It's a part of my content. So again, I can crash out on Diddy. I can crash out on a celebrity. I can crash out on Donald Trump. But somehow I'm crazy. I'm funny when I do that, but I'm crazy. I'm bipolar. I'm delusional. I'm a problematic person when it's one of these fucking YouTubers who are on the docket, right? So you can't have your cake and eat it too. Another lie that she told, coming into the Diddy trial, and this is where I know you was a peon and you chose a side with Mr. Big Gums. She totally forgot to mention that we seen each other for 4 or 5 days. We were the only YouTubers at the ASAP Rocky trial. And we somewhat collaborated, and we was nice and cordial with each other. If you had hidden animosity towards me, you had ample opportunity to say it during the Tory Lanez sentencing hearing when you had a male figure who presented themselves as your bodyguard with you. And then at the ASAP Rocky trial, you didn't even have a bodyguard, didn't need it. You already knew that I was nice, and we already ironed things through, but it seems like she still had hidden animosity. Didn't mention it for 5 days in a row. No bodyguard, nobody there but me and her this whole time. Didn't mention it. All you had to do was like, Denat, you know what? I can't forgive you for this. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Well, there you go. Now you're a ghost to me. You don't exist. I see where we stand. She didn't have the audacity to do that with the male in her life there to protect her, nor did she do it when we was at the ASAP Rocky trial. So when we went to the Diddy trial, I was piggybacking, and it was like to be continued from the ASAP Rocky trial. So I was extremely nice and overprotective of her. And though I will tell you that my antics and my ways may have ultimately got me into conflicts with other people like Tisa Tales and everything. You notice everything that I was calling out when I got to the Diddy trial was everything that they did on the last 2 days. Every single thing that I said and did about Tisa Tale, about the content creators, the fakeness. There was Ratchet TV, Armand, all of them. They pretty much replicated everything that I did when I was no longer there at the end of the trial. But while it was happening, they demonized me for it. It seems like one would say that y'all copied me outside of the court. you know, and look for a moment to one up on me. You know, nobody demonized Ratchet when he went at Tisa Tales and she clapped back at him. Everybody in the court, including Armand Nick at Night, who seen Tisa Tales clapping back at me in the court and talking shit to me. And then when I go outside and go off on her, because I know I'm not finna do it in the courthouse, because I'm not finna look like that. I'm finna talk my shit online. And then she act like she didn't do and say what she said in the courthouse. But then when Ratchet get into it with her and she go off on him, Armand, Neek, and all of them want to advocate for him and say, Tisa's not a victim. She was clapping back. She was giving it too. But the court of public opinion said that I was the problem, and nobody stood up to say that Tisa Tales was coming out to me as well. Just because I went online and mentioned it and she did it, somehow I was the victim. This is the court of public opinion game that they play. I'm not good at that. I'm not good at manipulating the public. I'm not good at gaslighting the public. And I don't like the politics. I don't even like the politics in Hollywood. That's why I prefer to do my own thing. Just like I want to make my money, do my own thing in Hollywood. I think it's feasible for me to do that on YouTube as well. Okay, there's actual celebrities who know me, and I will walk past them like I don't know them and I don't see them, and they will be mad, and they will come up to me trying to chastise me. I don't need to go up to them. If I don't rock with you, I just don't rock with you, no matter how much money you have, how much success you have. So if I treat real credible people in Hollywood like that, what make you think that these non-celebrity YouTubers are anything special, and that my tactics or whatever is supposed to be equal to whatever they say? I don't play them games. I'm a real person with a real life, with real emotions. And this is a part of the reason why I'm a great actor, is because I'm always real. How can you step in and pretend to be a character when you're not real with yourself? Acting is being real under imaginary circumstances. And I'm really great at it because I'm real all the time. I don't care about the court of public opinion. I don't care what people, I'm not a PR agent. I'm not a talent agent and manager with these relationships that needs to be fostered. I do my job, I get in and I get out. And moving forward, I would never speak to, acknowledge none of these people from YouTube, never even smile at them, none of that. I'm good on all of that. I don't need to collaborate with anybody. 48 Laws of Power. Rule number 1, never outshine your master. When I first came online, like Nika Knight said, he said he better than us. And so if she heard that, the rest of them heard that. And they was offended because like Mr. Big Gums and all of them, they presented themselves to be my leader, and I'm supposed to follow in suit with them. That's exactly the last conversation I had with Sean Davey Way, where you want me to spin whatever narrative and cover whatever you cover. Literally, you can't do that. You got to cover whatever we cover, and you got to speak to the narrative that we speak to. Absolutely not. And so in the court of public opinion, they're playing this game as enlisted in 48 Laws of Power. However, 48 Laws of Power also says that if you find somebody, or somebody has undeniable talent that cannot be replicated, duplicated, then that person does not and is not interdependent upon relationships in order to build their brand, that is the person that should stay alone and stay out of it and understand what the 48 Laws of Power mean, not to participate in that game, but to see the world and the game around me. And that's what they do. 48 Laws of Power is only connected to one chakra. Okay, and that chakra is the solar plexus. Power, influence, that's before you get to the heart chakra. So these people that are looking for power and influence are playing the game of power and influence as proposed in the 48 Laws of Power. They are stuck there at lower chakras, which is a low vibrational energy. They cannot get to the heart chakra to be a human and make human decisions. They're stuck on, I need power, I need control, and they play this game called the court of public opinion in order to distract people from what's really going on. Okay, I pride myself. Like I said, this background is the Northern Lights that vibrates at 144,000 Hz. And I pride myself on being able to tap into any chakra, any energy field. And when you find people that are narcissistic and stuck on power, control, and need influence over other people, they can't possibly go where I'm going spiritually. They can't possibly manifest the things and the desires that I can in the material realm because they're stuck on a low vibration. I can tap into that vibration because unfortunately, most people are low vibrational. No matter if you're white, black, even doctors and lawyers who can tap into the higher vibrations and are educated, when they come online, they're looking for a form of escapism. So they're attracted to the Milagro bomb dropping, the bee hole, all of this negative toxic energy. I understand that. So I give my audience what they want. I can't sit up here and be intellectual all the time because the people are not going to show up. Oh, Danat, you was doing good when you focus on this. Why don't you talk about politics, something high vibration or something actually requires an intellect is a higher vibration. And people don't resonate with that. So they're going to click off unless I'm sensationalizing a criminal case or civil case instead of educating and enlightening, right? I pride myself on trying to operate from a place of knowingness. And I think because I operate from a place of knowingness, I can somehow pierce into the spiritual realm and go behind the scenes and tell how people are moving. And my struggle is to go along to get along, because if I come out here and ghostbust this person and say, because you called me Nick at night and knew about the restraining order and you didn't intervene when I asked you to about the copyright strike, when all of this could have been prevented, those things lead me to believe that there's behind the scenes communication that's going on. There's a behind the scenes agenda against Danat, because I'm operating at a higher frequency and I can see through everything that you're doing because you're stuck at the solar plexus looking for power, influence, and control. And I see you for who you are. And because most people are nasty, toxic, and evil and not enlightened, I've always struggled with dealing with people and accepting people for who they are, for the low vibrational characters and creatures that they are. And I partake in it knowingly and intentionally and strategically. So me having a title, Nick at Night team up with Armand ? And still acting like I don't know that that's true was a play for you to go ahead and show your hand. And what happened? You showed your hand. So that question mark of Nick at Night teaming up with Armand Wiggins, the average reasonable person that understand how these YouTube games go actually can see why I made that title and see it to be true. So if I made that title, how you know I wasn't baiting you to show your hand, in which you fell into my trap? Okay, sorry, Cali Candy. There's certain names blocked out of my chat. If you see Night Bully block you and talk shit to you, it's because I programmed Night Bully to do that. So I'm sorry. I blocked those people out of my chat. They're not conducive to my journey. I don't care about them. I have hidden their channels, and that's just what it is. They're not conducive to my journey. They are destructive to my journey. And that's one thing that the court of public opinion needs to realize and understand. Okay, and you're not registering the information that I'm giving you because
you're waiting to go skating, spinning reels before your turn.
Then you would understand it and misappropriate. Well, oh, you need help. You mentally ill. No, I'm just going along with my brand and what people expect. And that's why I strategically did not cover Nick at Night Quill yesterday until I got through the whole docket. So smart people who watched the entire video or fragments of the video before I got to Nick at Night, they wouldn't be able to differentiate between me going off on a Kevin Gates or a Waka Flocka or whatever's trending than it was to do with Nick at Night. But somehow she's the victim because you're too weak for this, okay? You're too weak for this. And everybody at this point in time know that if you come for Danat, there's a certain energy and there's a certain rhetoric and vibe that he's going to come with. So Nick at Night chose to op up against me. That is my reasonable conclusion based on how you responded and reacted. And you played yourself when you went out there and said that my soundboard made you feel threatened for your life. Also, you guys remember Quay, oh yes, her name Quay, Quality Queens, the lady that died in her rocking chair. And put some hearts in the chat if you've heard me say multiple times over the past year multiple times. I've said that the last person who got on platforms saying that they wanted me to hurt and wanted to see me cry, they died in a rocking chair. So I've said that plenty of times as a way of loop around to tell you and to exemplify what happens to people who mess with God's children. Okay? So that's what that was about. But she took that as a threat, and I'm like, girl, you played yourself. You moved, and that's not even credible. So everything that you did in a 2.5 hour video, you kind of collectively ruined it in a 15-minute video by gaslighting the internet because you saw the chat telling you to file a restraining order, and now you've done that, and your shit will be denied, just like Mr. Big goes. Somebody said, so Funk Flex bomb since the 90s trigger that got mouth pork, bro. You put a cow tongue in the freezer for them too. Even that, bitch, that's a joke with Baphomet that always talking about putting cow tongues in people's freezer. And so I was like, shit, let me put a cow tongue in the freezer. And then it turned into, yeah, y'all got cow tongues in the freezer, but bitch, I'm finna slice them up and make me some hot sausages. Cause you know, a hot sausage is actually made out of a cow's tongue. So that's me taking it, rolling with the punches and making fun of it, okay? Yeah, Nick at NyQuil. Yes, NyQuil is her name. I did not block it. If you want to reference her, NyQuil is what y'all can call her. Moving on. The most entertainment that you gave and that you got was me coming on your platform, and then you piggyback off of that to go and tell your story. Dry your eyes, Miss Clear Eyes. Dry, clear eye. So we resolved everything. If you had all of this hidden animosity and then want to downplay what happened at the Diddy trial when you first got there in the line, why didn't you pulled out your camera to worry about what me and Hennessy Review was going through? And I played you guys, and I'm finna do it again. I played you guys a clip of the final conclusion between me and Hennessy Review. Very much similar to Nick at Night, or even men have conversations with me, and I have a reasonable conversation with them, and we're like, you know what? Everything is cool. Even Hot Tea, Hot Chocolate, follow me. Hot Tea, Hot Chocolate is Chris Sean Rock's #1 supporter. She followed me yesterday, and so last night, and I woke up, I said, so I wrote her, I say, hey, I didn't know you just, I say, hey, I didn't know, I said, hey, I know you didn't just randomly follow me back. What you want, LOL. And I believe it's because she heard how Hennessy, who is also a Chris Sean Rock supporter, know that we got into it. We went back and forth, and I respect this lady. This lady hasn't attacked me, so there's no reason to attack her. Even Buffalo ass, Mr. Z Banger. I went on your platform and said, I don't have any beef with you. You still holding on to hidden animosity and going to the Nick at NyQuil's chat to bring up old stuff. So that means you're not over it. And so with that said, I guess my roast and gags stick with these people. And so I'm not finna even pretend to be nice to these people anymore.
So I don't know what everybody else's experience has been with you, and I do see everything that is going on. And being a person that has gone to war with you back and forth online, and it got pretty vicious. I have to say, when we saw each other at the Diddy trial, we were both on that same energy with one another. Like both of us, it was like, okay, the screen ain't here, but I'm still me. So what's up? But after having that conversation with you and really getting a moment where all guards came down and we were able to be transparent with one another and hear one another without the chatter of chats and other people clouding and making noise in between it, you and I had a real moment, a real human moment. And that started our connection. And because of what we shared with one another, which was personal, and I won't get into that because that's not my place to speak on what you shared, but because we had an actual moment as humans expressing ourselves and really talking like adults with one another, we were able to get an understanding and a clarity as one another, as people. Okay, as people. And it's not about the content, it's about the person who's delivering the content behind that. The person who, when the lights, camera, action goes off, that's who we got to see from one another. And I got to see you for who you really are. I got to differentiate between Donat, who is on the clock, on his job, and he's on it. between him and who Donat is as a person. You have a brilliant mind, and I've told you that. And I've told you that you really have this journalism thing down pat. We've encouraged one another during that time. I had a situation that occurred, and you showed genuine concern, not concern because it was content or let me go tell my people that, because you never spoke on it to this day, what happened in my personal life while we were at that Diddy trial. So I got to see a different side of you, and that side of you, that's the side that has bonded with the side of me. And that's a genuine connection. It's a genuine bond that was built, and nobody on the outside of you and I can ever break that. Only you can change that with me, and only I can change that with you. So I just wanted to let you know, like, hey, I see what's going on, and I just wanted to let people know that this is not no rules. It's not for the cameras, because we don't have to speak today and every day and next week. It could be 6 months to a year from when we speak to each other or see each other, and it's just going to pick right back up. We're not on that timing. You understand? So I just wanted to tell you that and tell you to be encouraged. And you know the drama is going to come as a content creator. It happens, and sometimes we become the content, but don't let that consume you from doing what you're destined to do. You feel me? So I just wanted to tell you that. I'll talk to you later.
And I absolutely love and adore Hennessy. We actually did a video because a lot of Christian Rock supporters was like, why are you talking to him? Why? And he said this about you, that about you. And we actually did a video and we talked about those things that were hurtful to her that I said and I did. For instance, and I'm not bringing up the past, I heard her, just like I heard Nick at Night Quill Cousin say something personal, and I took that and flipped it and made a joke about it. I knew she cared about her son. I knew she was in conflict with Wack 100. I know Wack 100 pull up paperwork. I never talked to Wack 100 about her son, but I was like, oh yeah, Wack got the paper on your son. We know what cell he in, where he at. And it scared the shit out of her. And it was a troll. And so I was just like, you gonna clap at me? I don't need to dig up your family. I don't need to dox you. I don't need to do none of that. But I can use information that's presented online that you put out there to use against you. That's just a part of what we did to each other on Clubhouse. And mind you, Clubhouse was only audio and we only had our face. And so, and I will tell you, I don't know, she's not gonna say it, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. What her and I went through and what she expressed to me, and Nick at Night, instead of her getting on camera to tell people that I was defending her, tell people, all of the people that jumped out of a minivan, like 7-8 people and Tisa Tales and them, they did not like me because I had an attitude towards them because I was defending Nick at Night because I wanted her to get into the main courtroom, even though she went on her platform and spent it like she was my savior and that she did this for me and I wouldn't do it for her. When in fact, before getting into it with Tisa Tales met me. Everything is cool. I'm on her camera. Everybody is cool. But y'all not gonna skip Nick at Night. I know we cool and everything, but I fuck with Nick at Night because we're cool. From the ASAP Rocky trial, we're cool. This is day one of the Diddy trial. Why didn't you tell people that I fought to get you into the main courtroom and you ultimately decided not to fight for yourself? That's why you wasn't in the main courtroom. Make it make sense. Armand, World News, Tisa Tales, they would tell you. I couldn't stand Donat since the first day because he went at me because he was trying to get Nick at Night in the main courtroom. That's very different than her coming online saying that she fought for me to get in the main courtroom and made me look like blah. Why didn't you pull out your camera and film me fighting for you to get in the main courtroom, but you pulled out your camera and showed your audience of Hennessy and I getting into a conflict because there was unresolved issues. And that woman showed me a side of her that I resonated with. That woman showed me how much she cared about her son. And at the time, y'all know I come on here and I'll say something slick about my mama because whatever's going on that I don't fully expand upon. But at the end of the day, where Nick at Night Quill, Big Gums, while I was online in a suite, a $300 a night suite that my mom put me in for 4 days during Thanksgiving because I beat up my stepdaddy before. And so she spent her money putting me in a suite. My mother was with me for the most of the time when I was in Central Florida. A lot of these people can't say that. So a lot of these people don't have love in their life. So I know some of y'all here have heard me say some derogatory things. Yeah, my mama is a gambler and I don't like that. And I be chewing her out and shit. Y'all don't know. My mama done lost her money and now I got to pay her house and light bills and shit. That shit is stressful. But I still love my mother. And my mother's house is paid off right now. So who am I to tell my mama what to do? That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. At least she ain't young. Gambling, because that's the only way to get your stuff off and entertain, because don't nobody like you in real life, Mr. 82. You know, so my mother loves me dearly. My mother loves me dearly. How many of them can say that their mother gonna put them in a suite for 3-4 days? You look at the Diddy documentary in the hotel that he was staying in, I was in a similar suite with the same type of tub, the same type of shower, the same type of space and stuff. So my mama got me propped up like I'm a celebrity. And because she got a suite for $300 a night, that was discounted. My mother used her discount code to put me up for 4 days when she could have used that for herself at a later time and told me I'm a grown man, go fend for yourself. I don't have no allegations like Armand Wiggins that King Payne said he beat up his own mother. I told y'all. How many times have I told y'all that the stuff that I done said about my mama, I would never say it to her. My mama shoot the shit out of me. How many of y'all heard me say that? Jokingly, but it's true. I know my mama is a gangster. And a sweetheart. I'm like my mother, okay? I'm like my mother and my father. Both of my parents always sweet and giving and over compassionate to people that they shouldn't be. Because that's my true nature, like my mother, like my father was. Rest in peace, Dad. But I'm also a gangster, online, in person, and in the motherfucking courtroom too. So y'all don't have those moralities installed in y'all. Y'all some disgusting individuals that come online acting like your real life is actually online. You lacking something in your real life, so you come online to supplement for that. And I do too. I told you guys, and I've been transparent. Shit, I'm tired of Hollywood. I'm tired of it. I'm online because, this is an outlet for me. And people want to talk about my Clubhouse journey. You can't talk about my Clubhouse journey. My Clubhouse journey is immortalized. Go to Spotify, go to Apple, type in "Do Not Replays," and you can learn my history through audio tracks. That's why I made my history be captured in audio tracks, because even on Clubhouse, they didn't want to tell the truth because they was threatened and intimidated by my potential. It took me getting off of Clubhouse for them to praise me and kiss my fucking ass beyond the scope of me putting it in audio tracks. So if you want to know my Clubhouse journey and experience, then you should open your ears before we get into these receipts on Nick at Night, Quill. They don't want to see that.
You do have millionaires in your room, just so you know.
They don't want to see that.
You do have millionaires, just so you know.
Like Nelson.
They're just laying low.
They don't want to see that.
You do have millionaires in your room.
I don't know, man. All I want to do is be great. I went through hell in Hollywood. Clubhouse became my outlet.
Everything that I just heard over the last month.
I'll open up a can of whoop ass on anybody that comes after Danat. And let me tell you why. I got misinformation about Danat.
With Danat confirmed.
Get that razor blade up.
You need to come up on that stage. You need to not be in the audience. You need your voice to be heard, because I got your back.
I understand Danat. I understand why they hate Danat.
Kill yourself.
I'll fucking go off. I just want you to know.
I understand Danat. I understand why they hate Danat. Because all this content originated from Danat.
Pick that razor blade up, kill yourself, and fucking slice your wrist upwards so you bleed out quicker. Kill yourself.
I'm not saying that individuals are roaches, but the content created is roach like. Everybody thinks that everything is okay. I don't need sympathy. I don't need to tell my story for sympathy. I don't need sympathy. I don't need to tell my story for sympathy. You know, I don't need that, because I don't like to attract that type of energy. I like being strong. I like fighting for what's right. I like being the standard Black American man. That's what I like.
I ain't no eater, this not. You could clip it. I ain't no dick eater, this not. You could clip it. I salute you, and I gotta get your flowers where they do. I ain't no dick eater, this not. You could clip it. I salute you, and I gotta get your flowers where they do. Yeah, you might be an asshole. Yeah, you might be an asshole, but your fucking content is impeccable. Yeah, you might be an asshole, but your fucking content is impeccable.
Fucking hate you. Fuck your mental health. You need to kill yourself. Fucking hate you. Fuck your mental health. You need to kill yourself.
I'm the fucking goat.
People think I'm polarizing, but I'm actually depolarizing. And that's why I don't think Clubhouse wants me on the app. People think I'm polarizing, but I'm actually depolarizing. And that's why I don't think Clubhouse wants me on the app.
Created, edited, produced. I made the beat from scratch. Man, I'm multi-dimensional, multi-talented, something that they can't do. Let me now go into a Clubhouse room and just write in the chat. Well, hey, Denat, come up, Denat. Oh my gosh, we miss you, Denat. Let me see. Let me go into this room.
How little my dick is all the time.
Oh, no, we good, Drewski.
In her mouth.
Oh, no, Drewski, you doing too much. Okay, so he got the big room, and he's just so vulgar.
That was up.
Let me see if I can wave somebody into a private room. Cause Sunday service, Holly, Britt. Wait, Tommy is online. Okay, let me wave at Tommy. Look, people like 2 days ago, Denat is back. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Look at this. Let me see. That message says Denat is back with 4 red hearts. They miss me. They love me on Clubhouse, okay? I said so many trends and blueprints over there. So for some old ass nigga bitch with webs on her snatch, girl, go to sleep. Like I said in a video, Quail, an old lady went around so many platforms harassing me, and she died in her rocking chair. So I don't know why or how. It's just I was so happy when I realized that I don't have to come online and worry about this troll clicking people's links, harassing me, cyber stalking me. And that's not me wishing death upon nobody. It's just karma's a motherfucker. Anyways, let me get into these receipts. This long ass essay that Nick at Night Quill sent me. And mind you, the only reason she sent me this long essay is because, first of all, who takes time to send somebody all of this? You got my phone number. We just talked for 45 minutes on the phone when you're the one who put me on notice of Mr. Big Gum's goddamn frivolous restraining order. And then on top of that, I had to get Nika Night off the phone with me on the Instagram call because I found out she was driving with no seatbelt on with her child in the car and ain't have and ain't even have it on the goddamn car speaker. That's dangerous. And that's how much I care. Everybody in my chat that knows me know that I'm very sensitive about people driving in my chat, by people driving, texting me, calling me. That girl was driving with no seatbelt on, dropping her daughter off at school. And I bet you her daughter ain't even have a seatbelt on. And so after 45 minutes, she didn't mention none of this, but then decided to send me all of this because this was her way of saying everything she had to say about me in her perception so that she can go off and do a video. It's long and exhausting, y'all. I put this in my Discord. She said, "Dear Denat, I say this with love, ... When people put ... dots, to me, that's sarcasm and not what you are really, mean. I hope all your dreams on YouTube and the industry come true and flourish, and you're able to make a comeback to Hollywood film. No, you don't, bitch. No, you don't. As for me, the live you did reacting to my video, I wasn't feeling some of the comments. I came into it late when you had already been on almost an hour. I went back and watched from beginning, and slick comments was something else. The Tasha K comment and the do you remember this and do you remember that comment, I was like, child, does he really want me to say exactly verbatim what I remember for real? Because let me be honest with you. Me saying I don't remember wasn't because I actually didn't remember. It was because my version of what I saw and what your version you were stating don't match up. And first of all, let me go back to this Tasha K comment. The only thing that I know about the beef between her and Tasha K was a phone call. I listened to a snippet of a phone call where she told Tasha K that she felt like Tasha K, real issue with her is that she didn't want her to come up and build a following for herself. And this is the same issue I'm having with you. Now that that's clear, and Big Guns, but you can't resonate with that. So stop acting like me bringing up your issue with Tasha K was apple to oranges. Pain is relative. Circumstances and reasoning for gatekeeping is relative. But for some reason, she can't put herself in my shoes and realize that I'm you versus Tasha K when it comes to why there's an issue. Not because you're afraid, but because you don't want people to grow and prosper. So I don't know what her trauma is and her pain dealing with Tasha K. I don't know. But if she make another video about me, we gonna do a marathon pulling all of that shit up from years ago and drag you for filth because I lost all respect for you, ma'am. So make another video about me, and that's what we're gonna do. And I don't remember the situation you have placed in the way you are explaining it. So to avoid making it appear you are lying or taking you from the story you are telling, I choose to stay neutral and just say I don't remember. I didn't want to argue or turn the situation about a me versus you thing, but you did. But to answer some of what you said and to clarify if you genuinely are curious if I remember or not, I remember you sitting down with Sylvia making a comment about you having a meeting before Armand got there. You were constantly checking your phone and watching the time, and this was mentioned several times before Armand had ever walked in the door. To correctly state what I remember in full would discredit some of what you are saying. So two things can be true at once, okay? If I'm in New York City and I got a meeting with somebody, matter of fact, the meeting that I had was with somebody that supported me, somebody that wanted to take me out and show me a good time because they are a fan of mine and a supporter of mine. So the ball was in my court. Matter of fact, the ball was so much in my court, I could have picked the date, the time, and even pushed back the time. So it was ultimately my decision on if I had to leave or not. Yes, I had an appointment. Yes, I had a meeting. Yes, I'm a timely person. And me checking my phone at Sylvia's with Sylvia is because I had just did a live stream announcing that I was with Sylvia and we was going over to Sylvia's, and no pun intended, it was a joke. So Dana was texting me and telling me he didn't even know we was at Sylvia at this time. He didn't know nothing. He was just texting me. I don't even think he's seen the video because he didn't mention it in the text messages, but he was giving me the rundown on Sylvia. And I didn't tell nobody. I didn't tell her that. I didn't make an issue out of it until this day. Well, until yesterday, nobody knew what I was so busy on my phone looking at. And so, yes, I had a meeting, and yes, I was on my phone. Two things can be right and wrong at the same time. So when Mr. Armand came there, that right there, I already had a meeting and I felt uncomfortable. But, and here's the thing why I kicked it to play cool, because ain't nobody online defending me. If people are putting my names in titles, it's to aid and abet this narrative that Armand created about me, or to say something nasty and negative about me to hurt my brand and my reputation. So if I see an opportunity where we can have a conversation, and mind you, when I had a conversation with Nick at night about the things that I said and did to harm her, I came back to my platform on that same day and apologized to the same audience that I had said those things to. So if that's my standard for having a conversation with you and smoothing things out, why would I expect you or anybody to do and have the same respect for me? It wasn't like I had a conversation with Nick at night and I agreed that we're going to be cool, that I didn't come to my platform and say, see, you've been here forever. Just because you got a bigger platform don't mean that you're growing faster than the next person. I brought new people to your channel and they unsubscribe because now they see who you are. Okay? So that's my standard. So me being at Sylvia playing it cordial with Mr. Big Gums was no different than me playing it cordial with him when he took my phone to take 5 pictures. And in the pictures, you can see he was so jealous of me, comparing himself to me. And I didn't even register that at the time. So when I see Big Gums show up, me having a conversation with him, what was my purpose and my intent? Was my purpose and my intent to be best friends with him? We already tried that. We already tried that, and you still didn't come online and reverse the narrative. So after the altercation at Zeus Network, which he admitted in court documents, he said, we got into an altercation. I got the video downloaded where he said that this weirdo, he just came up and he was smiling and then I put my finger in his face. You started the altercation when you said that, and it will be used against you in the court of law. But in the court of public opinion, these dumbass low vibrational niggas is not registering that. But you want to play with me in the court of law, you're going to have your fucking law degree by the time I'm done with you. So you can go and cancel that restraining order, whatever. I'm coming after you because you asked for that. You asked for that. And I'm going to bully you in the court of law. I'm going to bully you in the court of law. That go for anybody that come after me. I'm going to bully you. You didn't do your due diligence. You didn't see all the lawsuits that I fought, all the corporate executive attorneys that I battled for years on top of years with the same lawsuit before it was finalized. Of course, okay, I lost against these corporate attorneys, but you're a nigga who write like my 2nd grade cousin, nigga. I'm going to bully the fuck out of you in the court of law. And any person, and I'm saying it right now, any person on YouTube who think that they're going to come to a court case where I'm a defendant or a plaintiff, I'm going to have somebody to give you a subpoena and you got to wait outside the courtroom until I decide to call you as a witness in the case. If I decide to call you as a witness in the case. That's if I decide to call you. But you're going to get a subpoena. So if you think that you're going to show up and report on something, I'm going to bully you niggas in the court of law. Let's be clear about that. I'm going to bully you niggas. Go down there and get the clerk to give me a fucking subpoena. All it takes is one with the clerk stamp on it, make multiple copies and put all you niggas' names on it and have a third party to serve you outside of that court door. And you ain't going to be able to go back in there. Okay, I'm going to bully you niggas. Okay, evidence code 777, California. Any witness or anybody that's prospected to be called as a witness in the case cannot be in the courtroom while the case is happening. Okay. What the fuck are you talking about? Bitch, y'all really gonna, you know what? Y'all challenging me and got my, y'all gonna really prove my point that I'm the king of this shit, that I'm the king of this truth, that I know what I'm talking about when you don't. I call it serendipity. But anyways, 2 things can be right at one time, okay? So all of this, he hugged Armand and okay, well maybe I did do that. And it was because the last time I seen Armand before the Diddy trial, well, the last time I spoke to Armand before the Diddy trial, and I got his number, he got the same phone number. His number is still there. He can't tell you I used it, called him, texted him or nothing. This nigga thought he was gonna talk to me crazy when I told you it's been 5 months. We've been on the phone. We've been cool. 5 months have gone by. When the fuck you gonna get online and reverse this narrative? Because I know, just like every content creator know, that he called me a stalker and obsessed and all of this other stuff so that if him and I are ever in the same building at the same time, he can continue to perpetuate that defamatory statement. Just like how on October the 15th, 2025, he publicly stated that he was not going to the Megan Thee Stallion trial, and that if he was going, that he was going to get into a fight with weirdos. Who else was you talking about? We're going to let the judge decide, since you don't want to say my name, and since you already filed in court documents that this has been going on since 2023, according to you. So who else that you knew, and ever since July the 15th, 2025, I've been advertising that I'm going to the Megan Thee Stallion court case. You had a reasonable opportunity to know that I would be there. So you stated that you was not coming, and if you was gonna fight me. And so I was scared for my life. And you followed behind me. You literally begged your audience to fly you out to some place to where you called somebody a stalker and want the internet to believe that. And then even though you came after me, somehow I'm still the stalker. Bitch, you're gonna come up off of that statement, either by force or choice. So, two things can be right at one time. Very much similar to Gerald, okay? Some things you just let go. An op is an op. That doesn't mean that because I'm crazy if I call them out on their bullshit. That's how narcissistic they are. And he said, but to answer some of what you said and to clarify if you're genuine, you were constantly checking your phone to correctly state what I remember in full would discredit some of what you are saying. I wasn't trying to do that and turn you and Armand issue into a me and you issue. What else? You told YouTube you left early because of Armand making you feel uncomfortable, so you dipped. I did feel uncomfortable because every single time I looked at him, I had to think about how he want to smile in my face and be cool in real life, but you got a false pretense about me online and you don't want to correct it because you know if you correct it, it lifts me up from this false pretense that you spread to hundreds of thousands of people. And now that it's not in their mind that, okay, he's not a stalker. Armand just said that for entertainment purposes, because you stated that as if it was a fact. And if you look at the legal definition of stalking, I intentionally did not call you or contact you since July the 8th, 2024. It takes personal contact without a legitimate purpose. Me going to cover a true crime case at a courthouse in the federal building, a public place, or me going to a Zeus Network event where you antagonize a fight, that is not stalking. That's me exercising my First Amendment right. Okay? And I got niggas that can tell you days and weeks ahead of the Zeus Network event, the first one and the second one, it was already planned for me to go there. So you can get the pickle nose bitch all you want. And I foresee her coming. And I already know how to discredit her. I even got the screenshot from December the 1st, the day that you filed the restraining order, where she came onto Station Head in somebody's chat and said, let me contact Armand. Seems like we need to team up. You're going to be discredited. You're going to be embarrassed in the court of law. I got that screenshot. That's what the pickle nose bitch said on Station Head. Ooh. Thank God I screenshotted it. I was like, I'm going to say this for a rainy day. Who knew that rainy day was that day? The same day you filed the restraining orders, what she said. So it looks like a co-conspiracy. Hey, we're going to let the court of law decide, okay? Says the court of public opinion says that I'm crazy and I'm a stalker. And she said, I just let it fly and let you rock because my version differ from that. I didn't correct that because, hold on, give me 1 second. No, you should have corrected it. I didn't correct that because if that's what you want them to believe, that's you and Armand to dispute about. I didn't want to insert myself in that way. Even taking it back a bit to the live you did a few lives before you reacted to my video. You didn't say I told you Armand said don't speak to you, but the way you said it would imply that I told you that and I never told you that. There was a time I was at the Diddy trial. I left, came to Cali because it was my daughter's birthday. Then after a week or so, I came back. When I left, you made a video saying how Armand got me acting funny with you and saying I was acting funny style and making it seem like I was being a follower to your audience. You are a follower. Okay, Kat from the Tory Lanez trial told me that you was telling the truth and Armand flipped you. That was told to me the first day I met you, but I didn't say anything about it, but I registered it because I knew it was a day that you was going to flip on me too for this same fucking big guns. You mentioned how I would turn my camera so you don't be on the live. When I came back to court, I was about to walk in the overflow room at the same time you were walking out. I mentioned about you not turning your camera so I wouldn't be on the live, but on the first day, you turned your camera on me to point out that me and Hennessy was having a conversation, something to demonize me. So
at Vistaprint, we print signs so people can see your brand up close, but we also print signs so that people can see your business.
About you already turned your camera on me on the first day. to correlate me with something that you perceive to be negative, opposed to something that me and this woman is having a conversation, and we've had nothing but love and rapport ever since then. Haven't disrespected her, haven't talked about her. Same thing with you, all the way up until yesterday, right? And it's been over a year. And so you already turned your camera on me to highlight the negative. That's no different from DJ Academics calling me to fight Saucy Santana, but don't want to call me to give my opinion about Megan Thee Stallion trial. So I'm not jealous that Armand is on that platform. It's like y'all want to associate me with only negative, low vibrational stuff, not the good. You could have turned your camera on me on day one when I was defending you, because that would have highlighted that I was defending you. You didn't want that moment captured. You wanted to be hush-hush about that and not tell your audience. That's the whole reason why me and Tisha Tell really fell out, because before that moment, Tisha Tell had me on her camera asking me for my opinion, collaborating with me. So I can't fuck with none of these fake ass bitches, right? So you didn't turn your camera on then. You turned your camera on when I was talking to somebody else. Oh, there's the knot, and look at the trouble he's causing. That was before you left for your daughter's birthday. But you didn't want to turn your camera on me unless it was negative. So what are you talking about? When I came back to court, I was about to walk in the overflow room at the same time we were walking out. You looked at me and said, "Hi, Neek." I was confused at this "Hi, Neek" because several of my subscribers, this is what I'm saying. And this is what I'm saying. And I wrote this to her, and we're going to see it in a little bit when I get to my responses to this. You said several of my subscribers sent me videos of you talking mess about me, seem like a follower. They sent you clips and screenshots of those tedious seconds. They didn't send you the whole thing for you to get context and to realize that even that was just me joking. They sent you what they wanted you to believe to be salacious and to be messy as fuck. Your subscribers keep you in mess. Just like your subscribers told you their thoughts and their opinion that they gassed you up to create that video yesterday, and now I've lost all respect for you. Bitch, can't not one of my fucking subscribers send me nothing about nobody. My moderators have lost their wrenches because of that. My first set of moderators who helped me curate a docket lost all of their wrenches because they was sending me that shit in a group chat. Why the fuck you gonna send me some shit that you know is probably gonna fuck with me? That's why I was offended by T. Ferris sending Megan Thee Stallion anything. Don't send her that shit. I know how it feels for people that's close to you and for people that call you support, that they support you. Ask Crash Out Report. Ask Victoria. Ask Elizabeth. Ask all of my moderators. Ask any people that's here that's been subscribed. They even come around the bush and someone be like, "Denard, I know you told me not to send you anything, but I'm tired of this person," and they pull on my heartstring because they know that you gonna have to give me a justified reason before you send me some fuck shit out there in the YouTube street, because I don't care. This social media shit is not my fucking life. It's where I come to make money and entertain. That's it. They talked about Jesus. I can't stop them from talking about me. Don't send it to me. Look, Jaguar Rome, Victoria, please articulate to the people in the chat. Victoria, Crash Out, Elizabeth, please, anybody here that knows me, please articulate in the chat on YouTube that I have a rule of thumb, don't send me shit. Please do that so that these people know I'm not lying, because they think that I'm lying. I done took wrenches. I don't give a fuck how much money you sent me. Don't send me nothing. There's a moderator. Elizabeth, we do not do that around here. So that's where you're wrong, unless you're messy. Your subscribers got you into something. And your subscribers gonna get you packed up, bitch. Because when I'm done with you, I don't give a fuck about your feelings. Because you don't give a fuck about mine, clearly. So your followers, your subscribers sent you videos to gas you up. And you don't even know who them people is. But you met me in real life though, right? You told me I don't have a problem with you. And you said you felt Armand told me not to speak to you. I told you that wasn't true. That's a lie. That's a lie. I had already had journalists telling me Armand was bad-mouthing me around the court. I even got a text message from Diddy's publicist, Holly. This is what she said to me. And mind you, I haven't talked to this lady in a long time. She reached out to me involving an issue with another woman. And so her first message to me, Holly Bird. Her first message to me was, Denai, I want to be clear that Armand has never said anything to me about you. It was other folks that mentioned you guys had beef. Who was those other folks? Was it the Trinidadian girl? Who was those other folks? Because before I even got there, they was already talking shit about me because they knew I was on my way. Oud on the Go. And y'all remember this. Oud on the Go said, oh, you're Denai? They told me not to stay away from you. I told Oud on the Go, guess what? Don't talk to me no more, since that's what they say. Get your own perception and opinion. If you that easy to be manipulated, don't talk to me. That's what I told Oud on the Go. From day one, this is before any conflict. This is before anything. On day one, Oud on the Go told me that. We thought it was Baphomet. Turns out it was Armand who told him that directly. The same nigga who used him and threw him away, who used him to get close to Charlucci, who used him on a baby oil skit and blamed him for why it happened. But they told you to stay away from me. So who are the other people that told you that there was beef? If Armand told Oud on the Go directly. So this is why I stepped back from Holly Bird, because I knew. And I don't believe her like I don't believe Nika at Night that Armand did not tell them this information directly. Circumstances say that he did, regardless of what you say. And I'm entitled to my opinion. I believe that you are a liar. Regardless. Do I have the direct... No. You did not tell me to my face on that day. Who was it? You refused to release a name. You told me, why does it matter? Everything is cool. Don't worry about it. But you're writing me saying that I told you it wasn't true this long as essay because you're gearing yourself up to go and do a video to repeat everything that you said here. I told you I wasn't putting you on my live so soon because you was just talking ish about me and I explained why I acted how I acted. So you don't mind putting me on the live with me and Hennessy talking it out so that you can paint me in a negative light. You already put me on your live. It was just in a negative way. You don't want to put me on your live or collaborate with anything positive. That's what that tells me. So you're a fake ass bitch. I told you that you kept flipping on me when I lead trials, but be cool to my face. I don't flip on you if I state my opinion about you. That's my opinion. You started tearing up telling me that what you was going through and that the older YouTube lady and her husband and how it's been a lot going on. Your eyes got teary-eyed and you told me you didn't want to go against me and you respect me. So why your eyes got teary-eyed when you told me about your cousin at the Tory Lanez trial? I didn't come online and say, oh, Nick at Night got teary eyes or whatever. I was really trying to bond with you, really trying to respect you. I'm a genuine person. I'm a Cancer. So you try to paint it out like I'm soft because I showed you genuine compassion. This is why don't nobody give a fuck about black people. This is why you can't be vulnerable to niggas because you're trying to weaponize that against me. Did I still have my reservations being that you've told me before you would be cool and flipped on me? Yes. But being that you were telling it to me while you were tearing up, I felt it was coming from a sincere place and decided it wasn't that deep and decided to let it be water under the bridge. Bitch, I would never talk to these people again, ever. This whole literally took something and turned it out to be like I'm a soft pussy ass nigga and you was tearing and you're this gangster. Fuck you, dumbass bitch. I never not one time told you Armand said don't talk to you. It was implied based on his behavior, based on Oud on the Go telling me that, based on you hopping on his platform saying Armand is the type of person that won't like somebody. He's territorial. And if he don't like somebody, he'll tell you not to like him. If he's cool with him the next day, he's cool with him. So he was cool because I was, playing it at Sylvia's. And then that was the time when you were supposed to be cool. And then you failed to mention even after Sylvia's, all the stress and the stress that I went through. The day you bought me a cup of coffee, man, you went to Harlem You got the Borax to put in your head. We sat down and ate and had a conversation. You could have articulated everything and said everything to me then and there. You wasn't threatening in real life. You know I'm not a threat. I'm too smart for that. Let's be clear. I'm too smart for that. Why don't you address me in real life with none of this? And I'm not saying, oh, you're a woman and don't address men, but clearly you did it online and trying to weaponize this against me. Armand has never in life been the reason I haven't spoken to you. Yeah, right. Circumstances say that you're lying. Anytime I didn't speak to you, it was based on you being cool with me at the court. And then when we not at the court, you would make videos talking about me in a way that wasn't cool for somebody you supposedly be cordial with. Me giving my honest opinion about you and what I'm going through or coming online saying something, that doesn't mean that I hate you. Matter of fact, let's speak about Sylvia. This is when I knew that Nick at Night was a weak ass bitch, right? I specifically went to Sylvia's and I ordered chitlins. I ain't even gonna lie, nigga. I ordered chitlins. And they was like, you eating chitlins and stuff. We having fun and we laughing. I said, oh, everybody here, in front of everybody, in front of Sylvia, Armand, this other girl, and Nick. These are all people that can vouch and say that I ordered chitlins and they was disgusted by it. I said jokingly, I'm gonna go back to the internet and said Nick at Night ordered chitlins. And she was so offended. I was like, well, all these people here know I'm joking. And then I was like, even when I say it, I'm gonna tell my audience I'm joking because that's what I do on my platform. I roast. And then I'm gonna make it clear that I ordered chitlins. No, don't do that because you don't know how people perceive it. You're worried about the court of public opinion opposed to building an actual connection. So why can I be worried about Armand spinning a lie against me in the court of public, a flat out lie that's not a joke, and you worried about me coming back joking saying you ordered chitlins because they've already said that you smell like fish and your breath stank and stuff online is later on what I found out. And that would corroborate that, even though you, Armand, and everybody know that I'm sitting here laughing, playing with you, saying, yeah, I'm gonna go and tell them you ordered chitlins as a joke. And I feel, and you was weak. Oh, don't do that. You weak. You care too much about what the public think about you. So if you care too much, you're moving based on what the public think. So if you do a video with me and the people are attacking me in the chat and the comments, you're caring about what they're saying. And so now your public opinion of all of these trolls and people you haven't met in real life are determining whose side you would take in the middle of this shit with Armand when you shouldn't even jumped into it. So that's when I knew she was a weak ass bitch that couldn't even take a joke. And you a liar. Anytime I didn't speak to you, it was based on yada, yada, yada. You started YouTube by calling all of us broke because of the cupcake thing. Give me commentary. I didn't know this bitch was a liar at the time. I was like, they're with you. They're these content creators. They're making money. And Cupcake led me to believe like, I didn't have all of my facts. I would agree with that. And I was like, damn, they couldn't pay for that. I was like, it was only $22 because when I was with Cupcake, I offered her, what that goddamn raise? El Pollo Loco. She said, oh no, I don't want it. I was like, I'm offering it to you. I knew she was hungry and looked like she was starved. He was starving. Cause that's a man. A little boy. That's a little boy Cupcake. I knew he was hungry and he was starving. Okay. And mind you, I don't have any solid proof that Cupcake is a man. I'm not trying to be like Candace Owens with Bridget Marquis. Cupcake looking for a moment. It's given that you a little boy transition at an early age. That's what I take from you with your features and stuff. So calling us broke because of if you know you ain't broke, girl, you make more money than me on YouTube. My bills, I pay more in bills than I make on YouTube. So with or without this shit, bitch, I'm gonna be good. Calling us broke because of Cupcake, because y'all didn't pay a $22 bill. So when I seen Cupcake, I offered Cupcake El Pollo Loco. He was embarrassed. And I was like, you know what? There's a homeless person here that's hungry. Let me buy this homeless person a $6 bowl so that Cupcake know that I'm genuine. And that's what I did. I bought the homeless person a $6 bowl, and the homeless person didn't even say thank you. And Cupcake looked at me and said, and this was lunchtime. Cupcake looked at me and said, oh, I could have had that. I know you could have. That's why I bought it for the homeless person, so that you can trust that my action of offering to pay for your food is genuine, despite what Nick at Night and them did to you. And then that was lunchtime. And once the day was over, okay, lunch, we El Pollo Loco. After that, we walked and we went down to this. Oh, let me show you this place. And I know all these people. You don't know nobody in there. That's just a fancy spot that you done window shopped at, hoping and praying somebody be in there to pay for your fucking food. And you use me just like you use Nick at Night, Milagro and them. And you sat in towel, never been there before, don't know nobody. But these are the hot spots that you want to manifest yourself into and throw bills up in the air and see who's going to pay for it. So I automatically knew that I was going to pay for your shit because I knew you broke. Went to this place. The bill was like $70. I paid for it all and left Cupcake there while he was up there flirting with Kim Kardashian bodyguard and all that, like just social climbing, all this other stuff. Download niggas that don't mind that Cupcake a little boy. And so that's the situation with Cupcake. And then that bitch went on Big Gun's platform and lied on me, and I got that video downloaded. Anyways, then Nick at Night said, then you started attaching my name to the Jaguar Wright stuff that had nothing to do with me. You would say slick ish, talking ish about me, about my Tory coverage. Your Tory coverage was not up to par. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Cupcake said that he know Jamie Foxx. I can call Jamie Foxx right now. I was just at Jamie Foxx's house earlier this year and posted a video about it. I can call Jamie Foxx right now. So if Cupcake, I should call Jamie Foxx, but why would I call Jamie Foxx and put you in the mind of that person that don't give a fuck about you and don't even know you? Ain't Cupcake the one that said he had a video of Jamie Foxx on a deathbed or some shit like that, some weird ass shit? Right? I can call Jamie Foxx right now. Anyways, yeah, that's the little boy. Attaching her Jamie Foxx. Your Tory Lanez coverage did suck. It did. That was my honest opinion about that. And that's just what it is. You covered it. I covered it. I got the transcripts and realized that, you know, and Kat already told me you flipped. Because Armand convinced you you're a peon and you easy to manipulate. That's exactly what that lady told me. And I put that on everything I love. The first day I met you, that lady said that you a peon. That lady said you're easy to manipulate. I put that on everything that I love, dead and alive. I was told that Armand flipped you and that you're easy to manipulate. Nick at Night Quill. And now I see, and I've experienced it for myself. Anyways, you had made videos saying I'm boring, I'm not talented, you smarter than me. I do feel like I'm smarter than you. And the more and more, I'm gonna be real with you guys, the more I looked at her and thought she was a nice person and saw her in a good light, I was like, no, she's not boring. This is her personal style of content and how she give it up. So I'm not gonna go back on me looking at her and pouring into her and saying she's not boring. But after yesterday, I cannot look at you in a positive light anymore. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I didn't say that she was boring and that I didn't finally just catch on, because I'm an acquired taste. For good, bad, and different, I'm an acquired taste. Just like you're an acquired taste. And because we made a truce, I was like, okay, well, she's not necessarily boring. This is just how she give up the content. So I'm not going to take back my statement of saying that, you know, you're not boring. Let the other people decide. I'm not going to be on Mad Day, go back and say you're boring. I'm going to say initially I found you to be boring and that's what it is. And then I got to know you, or thought I got to know you, and watched you and decided that, you know what, she's actually not boring. This is how she give up content. And I had a respect for you. Now I've lost respect for you and I will not be tuning in no more. Just like I lost respect for Milagro, who's far more entertaining than you. I'm not tuning in no more. And Milagro is definitely far more entertaining than you. But that, I'm just not tuning in to neither one of y'all. So I hope you understand that. You did a live with a female YouTuber I don't F with, and you stated you couldn't wait to get the tea on me talking ish about me. Okay, so basically, yes, the lady who told me that she was boring and easy to manipulate, that I forgot about it until I just read this. That lady came onto my platform and said Nick at Night is a peon that flipped with art. She basically repeated what she said in real life online, and I can respect that realness. She said Nick at Night is boring. She's easy to manipulate. Armand flipped her. That lady said that publicly. I totally forgot about it, but she didn't forget about it. So it further proves my point that I'm not a liar. Kat, somebody said you were upset. You was upset I filed a motion with the court for Nature Board trial and got the links to the streams and would talk shit about me saying I was trying to gatekeep Nature Board trial. Okay, I agree with that. Because at the time, I didn't know. As a matter of fact, it took Gerald Jackson telling me that this is how it go. You just got to get it. You just got to file the right motions. So Gerald Jackson is the reason why I came to my senses of like, okay, I get it. It's a public court case. What's going on? I didn't know anything about the file. Gerald Jackson told me that, and it made sense to me. And that's why I was like, okay. Gerald Jackson told me that. I will give him that. And I didn't know that. You could have been like, since you knew of it, you could have reached out to me. Never once denied. I filed the motion with the court. This is what it is. I was like, okay, all right, Neek. Can I use your content since this is a public case and you're the only one? You and Byron Dennis is the only ones who got the goddamn link to it. Even went to Byron Dennis and said, can I use it? And it sounded to me like Byron Dennis wanted to take me on a date. Fuck ass nigga, get out my face. Oh, people would like you, but you gotta be more respectful. Nigga, I'm not asking for your friendship. I'm asking for this motherfucking content. And then she said, there has been a lot that has been said in between times. I thought we were cool. Those are the reasons I would not speak to you when you was in person again. It has nothing in life to do anything with Armand. And I believe you're lying. I don't believe you for 1 second, ma'am. Okay, I do believe that you, like the lady who you don't like, came on my platform and said you're a peon and Mr. Big Guns flipped you. All right, so now let's get to these receipts to show. And the reason I'm showing these receipts is because I need y'all to know that I was actually responding. And all of this, if she would have went live and included what I was saying in opposition to everything that she was saying, there would have been no need to make a video. So Tuesday, she called me. And then she called me. I missed the call. Let me see. When was Tuesday? Calendar. Let me go to the calendar. All right. So this was last week, Tuesday. Mind you, Armand filed the restraining order on December the 1st, which was Monday. So Tuesday was December the 2nd. Why are you calling me? The last time I sent you any communication was when you was talking about Christian Rock when Blueface got out, and I sent you the DNA test thinking that maybe you can use it for content. That's what I did. So Armand filed the restraining order on Monday, and she called me on Tuesday. So how did you got Armand and my name pinged in the court of law? How did you get this information? So right there, one can say that you talked to Armand about this, and now you calling me. You certainly didn't talk to me first before you talked to Armand, especially not how the conversation went. You have a more rapport with him. And then Tuesday, this is when I was live. You guys, I was live Tuesday doing a video, and I started texting. I didn't go live and say, oh, Nick at Night reached out to me and she calling me. What does she want? I didn't make it content. We had a private rapport and a respect for each other, so I didn't make it content. I didn't make it a public issue. But you called me the next day after this nigga filed the restraining order and called me and I missed it, said, hey, check in on you. I see things have escalated and hearing about a restraining order. What's happening? So I'm like, okay, maybe she's watching my content. I said, child, I hit you later. I'm live. Never once did I go live. Never once during that live stream. I said, Nick at Night wrote me. What does she want? Let me attack her. I said, I'll talk to you later. That was respectful. She said, okay, just checking in. I hope all is well. That was on Tuesday. One shit genuine about that. You already had the 411. Talking about you hearing about a restraining order. Oh, and this is the message from Holly Bird, Diddy's publicist. Hey, Denat, I want to be clear that Armand has never said anything to me about you. That's the first message you sent me? This nigga's moving behind the scenes, concocting narratives, and got these people like Diddy's publicist, who I have never talked to on Instagram, writing me on Wednesday, the next day after Tuesday. So Tuesday, Nick at Night hit me up. I don't know nothing about the restraining order. Wednesday, Holly hit me up at night. So he's working behind the scenes, telling these people things. And I noticed I'm like, okay, this motherfucker's moving snaky behind the scenes. And like I said, the principal thrust with Armand. Say he ain't never going to publicly take back his claims that I'm stalking him and I'm obsessed with. Bitch, I don't give a fuck about your ugly ass nigga. And I said, so I would never like him. He's only upset because I didn't play nice with him at the Megan Thee Stallion trial. I'm done with the BS. She says, well, maybe with time it will pass and be able to be in the spaces together. And then yesterday she sent me these long essays and I'm like, huh? So I read it. I think some of this is out of order. But this is my response. Mind you, she was like, oh, Denat, you're going to make a video about me. If I planned on using you for clout and making a video about you, baby, I wouldn't have been sending you my response of everything that I had to respond publicly, because I sent you this response to maybe, okay, if you're going to make a video about me and you claim to be a neutral party, at least you can have my perception on your message and your perception of way things went. So I said, so I read your statements. First, I don't for 1 second believe Armand Wiggins' defamatory statements and negativity hasn't influenced the public perspective about me. Even so, with such a negative perspective, I typically don't deal with anyone he can easily manipulate. Did I think you was one of those people? ? Yes. Second, I totally forgot I told my audience that he influenced your opinion about me. That was stated after a journalist told me he was ruining my name. Further, once the Diddy trial was over, you got onto his platform and confirmed something like Armand would not like somebody one day, then be cool with them the next day and want you to not like them as well. So this is the logical train of thought, because, they say I'm crazy. I said, so this is the logical train of thought that convinces me even more with backdoor communication. The whole time she don't know that I see you plotting and planning and communicating with them throughout your engagement with me in real time. But I'm paying it though. They feel like because I'm paying it and I don't speak up that I'm cool and no, bitch, I'm paying it for you. And I said, third, the mere fact that I showed vulnerability and you accepted it, did not exploit, and I have remained genuine with you, you should tell you everything you need to know about my character. Further, I'm in between the times where we were cool and I made slick comments. I read the same some by using the same platform to apologize. Yeah, pretty much I told her, hey, this is my status. The slick comments and the things that I said to hurt you, I've used the same platform to apologize to you. Meaning that why can't you and Mr. Big Gums have the same respect that I have for you, or the same moralities? I treat people how I want to be treated. And then I said, fourth, two things can be correct at the same time. If I already had plans to leave early, checking my phone, and had a legitimate excuse to exit the situation, why is it that Armand gets to tell his audience he's leaving Megan's trial early, then ultimately blame me for why he didn't stay? That's that picking and choosing, And I said, an uncomfortable situation. And much of my checking the phone is because I had just gotten off a live, and someone who doesn't like Cynthia Sylvia, was trying to convince me to disassociate with her right then and there. I wasn't listening. I make up my own mind and my own judgment. Nobody can convince me about nothing. And mind you, this is all before she even scheduled the live stream to go live, that I was telling her privately, hoping she would consider it during her live stream. But she didn't consider nothing what I said. I said, lastly, I'm not trying to be best friends with you. I know the things I have said and done and took accountability for them. That's something I wish we all could do publicly at some point. I'm sorry if you felt me bringing up your past was offensive, but just like you didn't like your past or what happened to you doesn't mean I have to bear the toll. So it wasn't shade. It was me trying to remind you of how you once felt when someone was playing with your mental health. I said a lot of things. I don't have time to dig up your dirt and etc. I don't have to do those things for content. Then I sent her the court filing that I electronically filed and should be in the court system by Monday. The hell is this? What the fuck? What is this? Okay, and then she basically told me that she was gonna do a video on me on YouTube to tell her side of the story because the video I did, it's just something else. And she had no choice but to respond. I said, and then, oh, hold on, give me 1 second. This is where she lost me. This is where she fucking lost me. It's down below. I said, it's down below right here. She sent me screenshots, and I'm finna blow this up even bigger. She sent me screenshots of her subscribers telling her what to think and what to believe about me, even though she know me in real life. I said, child, I don't know if it's clickbait, but did not got you in the title for his next live. Shake my head. Somebody sent her a voice recording, 30 seconds long. Said, I don't even understand words out of good. I couldn't even get my words out good. Just pissed me off seeing your name on his caption when he was just in your live. I don't like dude at all. People feel like because you got these bigger platforms that everything they say is the finale, bitch. Say one thing I don't like and I got to correct it. Just like her. She felt like my video was an attack on her. And I said to her about her audience, well, they'd have to watch to realize why it was a question, as in the title of the video, that they had a problem with. I said, and there was nothing within my content disparaging towards you. So I'm not interested in someone trying to tell me how to run my platform based on what other thinks. That's fake. And this is what I told Armands. This is what I told the Conscious. This is what I told the Sean David Waves, the King Pains, the Fish Eye Food. This is what I told them all at once upon a time. From here on, how about we don't mention each other or cover each other? I did what I did to attract all the hundreds and thousands of people who harassed me on your channel to come and get to know me and my point of view. No harm, no foul. Just don't collaborate, mention, or anything. And if I see you around, I promise to always be nice. Nah, bitch, I'm not being nice to you. I'm act like you're a walking fucking corpse. I ain't gonna respect you, say nothing to you, fucking despise you. And then in response, she says, these are just 2 screenshots. My DM is blowing up about this, so I can't guarantee that I won't clear up some things that weren't fully explained or guarantee I won't cover the hearing. But outside of that, my content will be how it's always been, about what's trending in actual news stories. But as of right now, I don't plan to make a video, but if it get to be too much, I might need to clear things up. I didn't make no video between you saying that you won't make a video right now, but you said your DMs and shit is blowing up because now you're listening to your subscribers gas you up to get out here and make a video to get into a beef with me. And I said, awesome. You know, nobody can write me about what other CCs say about me, question. It's because I'm too real to care about what supporters say, as in like the mess. I think you should be past listening to random people in opposition to CCs and people that you've met. It's weird that you let supporters' opinion dictate your public representative. It's backward, it's childish, and it causes chaos. She said, hold on now. And let me go to the next screenshot. So when she said, hold on now, I said, the people that are sending you messages are the problems. The only thing I see is someone saying they don't like me and your name in the title with no specific reason. She said, childish to address my audience about what's being said about me online. Come again. So why is it that I'm crazy for doing this video to address my audience and the ops that you got to believe that I'm this dangerous criminal that's ready to unalive you? How is it that I'm a clout chaser or I'm doing something wrong if I'm addressing what was said publicly? If you also keep the same sentiments, why you got a good rapport with me? And then she says, deny.
$150 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on.
Download the app